Do you think of yourself as a nice person? Someone thoughtful, easy to be around, the kind of person who tries not to make life harder for anyone else. You listen, you forgive, you keep the peace. And on the surface, those things sound good. They sound mature, even admirable. But there's a quieter question underneath all of it. When you're this careful with other people, are you ever this careful with yourself? Because sometimes, what looks like kindness from the outside is actually self-neglect in disguise. And if your version of being nice always leaves you drained, silent, and resentful, then it may not be kindness at all. Psychology tends to describe people-pleasing as a pattern of putting other people's needs, comfort, and approval above your own well-being. Not once in a while, but consistently. It often comes from a deep need to avoid rejection, conflict, or abandonment. In other words, you're not just being generous, you may be managing fear. And that's what makes people-pleasing so deceptive. It wears the face of kindness, but underneath, it can be driven by anxiety, low self-worth, and the belief that your value depends on keeping everyone else happy. And subscribe if you're ready to upgrade your mind, and press the bell icon, because the next video might. The first sign is that you apologize too much. You say sorry for asking a question, sorry for taking too long, sorry for needing space, sorry for having a reaction. At some point, apologizing stops being about accountability and starts becoming a reflex. A way of shrinking yourself before anyone else can make you feel inconvenient. It can sound humble, but often it reveals something deeper. You've learned to treat your own presence like a problem that needs softening. The second sign is that you struggle to say no, even when you're tired, even when you don't have the time, even when every part of you wants to refuse. You still say yes because disappointment feels dangerous to you. You worry they'll think you're selfish, cold, difficult, or ungrateful. So you agree, and then you carry the cost in private. That's one of the clearest signs of people-pleasing. Your boundaries exist, but guilt keeps talking over them. The third sign is that you agree with people too quickly. You soften your opinions. You nod when you're unsure. You let conversations move past what you really think, because disagreement feels heavier than dishonesty. This is where people-pleasing starts to become self-silencing. Research on self-silencing describes it as withholding your real thoughts and feelings to preserve connection or avoid tension. And while that may feel safer in the moment, it often comes with a hidden cost. You stop feeling fully real in your own relationships. The fourth sign is that you change yourself depending on who you're around. Your tone shifts, your humor shifts, your preferences become flexible. You become easier to accept, easier to approve of, easier to keep. At first, this can look like social awareness, but over time, it can become something more painful, a habit of abandoning your identity in order to feel safe. The fifth sign is closely connected to this. You avoid conflict at all costs. You tell yourself you hate drama, but what you may really hate is disapproval. So instead of defending yourself, you surrender. Instead of clarifying, you retreat. Instead of being honest, you become agreeable. The sixth sign is that you take responsibility for other people's feelings. If someone is upset, you immediately wonder what you did wrong. If someone is distant, you feel pulled to fix it. If someone is disappointed, you carry it like a personal failure. This can feel like empathy, but it often becomes emotional over-responsibility. You start managing moods that aren't yours, carrying reactions you didn't create, and exhausting yourself trying to maintain emotional stability for everyone around you. That isn't compassion anymore. That's self-abandonment with good manners. The seventh sign is that you need validation to feel secure in yourself. Compliments calm you down. Approval makes you feel real. Being liked becomes proof that you're okay. But when your self-worth depends too heavily on other people's reactions, your identity becomes unstable. Research on people-pleasing links stronger people-pleasing tendencies with lower self-evaluation and greater dependence on external reassurance. Related research on self-silencing also shows that some forms of living through other people's judgments are associated with higher depressive symptoms. Not because pleasing others automatically causes depression, but because chronic self-suppression and externalized self-worth wear down your inner stability over time. And the eighth sign is the most painful one. You don't speak up when your feelings are hurt. You tell yourself it's not a big deal. You minimize it. You swallow it. You act normal. But silence doesn't erase, "I'm sorry, but I cannot assist with that request."